You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, now that Lucky Spencer is gone, we know Elizabeth Weber needs a new love interest, and we have got a man in mind for her, maybe more than one. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to discuss the aftermath of Lucky's exit and who Liz should be with next. And hey, please subscribe if you're not following us. So, fresh off Lucky proposing to Elizabeth, he packed his bags and left town. And, you know, Lucky's proposal did tempt Liz, and as much as she wanted to say yes, she still had to turn Lucky down because Liz knows Lucky won't be happy staying in one place, and Liz doesn't want to leave Port Charles. She has a life there. Despite loving Lucky, she also loves her job at General Hospital, her family, her friends, and she knows it just won't work out. Liz didn't want to say yes, and then they get married again and settle down, and then Lucky gets restless. He isn't happy, and then guess what? He resents Elizabeth for this feeling of him being tied down. So we all know Lucky and Liz have been down this road before, twice, in fact, and it didn't work out. So Lucky decided to leave Port Charles because he said he can't stay knowing he can't be with Elizabeth. It just hurts too much. Lucky's exit, I mean, I guess it was written okay, but the fact that they brought back Jonathan Jackson and then for it just to end this way and so fast is kind of frustrating. In case you've not heard, Lucky left town because Jonathan Jackson decided he just couldn't stay. It wasn't working out for his family, for him to be so far away from them. His home is in Tennessee, so he was very far away from his wife and 3 kids working in California. He said he thought he could make it work, but then they just decided as a family it was too hard. And also, by the way, John Jackson reportedly filmed a song for the Nurses' Ball, and rumor has it Frank Valentini scrapped it, which is bizarre because for me, the performance this year, all the performances, honestly, were kind of meh. And John Jackson would have been a great addition to the lineup. If you've never heard him sing, Google it. He is amazing. He was on that hit show Nashville playing a country singer. He is so talented. But bottom line, Lucky's gone. We had that sweet final scene where Elizabeth ran to the airport to say goodbye to him, you know, rom-com style, which was, by the way, insane because it's not the 90s. You can't get to the gate like that without buying a plane ticket, but whatever. I did like that Lucky's taking their son Aiden to travel around with him for a while. Bottom line, though, he's gone, and now Liz has no current love interest. So we're going to talk about who is her next lover. Will it be one of her exes or somebody entirely new? With Lucky just out the door, I will say I don't think Liz is going to fall for somebody next week. Maybe not even next month, but already there's actually a little spark of something that General Hospital has shown us. And obviously, and eventually, Elizabeth needs romance in her life. So let's talk about the available guys that could be a good match for her. And number one, obviously the first to discuss is her other 2-time ex-husband, Ric Lansing. This week, we saw that warm moment between Liz and Ric right after he lost his case and was talking to her at the hospital. I mean, it's no secret he's still hung up on Elizabeth and would love a reunion. Ric made a beeline for Liz the moment he came back to Port Charles, but she was already getting closer to Lucky, and she told Ric, no dice. But now, with Ric's rival gone and Cody sniffing around Ava, I could see Ric making another play for Elizabeth. But also, let's be real, Ric is still not worthy of Liz. And I understand she was married to a serial killer at one point, but I stand by that statement. Don't get me wrong. I like Ric. I appreciate a Silver Fox villain like him. I think he's hot. I like his vibe. I love villains, but Liz deserves better. And even if Ric gets closer to Liz, I don't think it could ever work out because he's blackmailing Alexis. And Elizabeth knows how shady Ric is, and let's be real, he's as sketchy as ever. These days, I will say he's mellowed from his panic room days where he locked Carly away, but he's still no prize. All right, so number two, Another ex of Elizabeth's we have got to talk about is a pairing that has a fan following already. She could get back with Jason Morgan. We could see the writers latching onto that Liz and Jason fan base, give those liaison shippers a thrill. If you remember, Liz chased after him so hard back when Billy Miller came on the show and he was believed to be Jason. We had Liz concealing his identity to keep Jason in her life. And of course, he turned out to be Drew before Cameron Matheson eventually took on the role. But Liz has always cared for Jason. And since Steve Burton came back, his character has had no love interest. Jason had potential with Sasha, but with Michael back, she might swerve to her baby daddy. I will say with Kelly Thibault returning, her character may be destined for Jason, whether she is resurrected Brit with a medical miracle or somebody new, because they did have really good chemistry. So Jason is still a possibility for Liz, but I haven't seen him looking her way, honestly, not once and not in a good long while. Number 3, another single hot guy in Port Charles is Cody Bell. He and Elizabeth would at least be a new pairing. I like new. Cody had chemistry with Molly, but nothing came of that. And now Christina's pimping Cody out to Ava for a payday. So that's a big minus. If there were any potential for Cody and Liz, him selling his body for money is problematic. And especially since it's Ava he's chasing. Plus, Christina's plot would have Rick swerving back to Elizabeth. So Cody seems like a long shot as well. All right, number 4, next on the list would be fun. Hunky Dr. Isaiah Gannon. We've seen Elizabeth and Isaiah getting to be good friends, and of course, Lucky is their common link. But with him gone, it's something Liz and Dr. Gannon have in common. But don't forget, Jordan is still in the mix. I doubt Isaiah has forgotten his attraction, even though Jordan's focused on Sidwell. And even though Liz and Isaiah are single and compatible, I still think Lucky would be an issue with any romance for them. So, long shot. Number 5, last but by no means least, let's talk about an age-appropriate hottie that could be a fun and different pairing for her, and that is Dante Falconeri. He and Elizabeth have never had a ton of overlap, but obviously they have lots of people in common. Dante's a good guy. That would appeal to Liz, and they're both single parents, so they have that in common. Liz with Dante would be something fresh, and I doubt he is going to be near Lulu anytime soon, so there's that. Also, I could see Liz being empathetic about what Dante's going through. It's not quite the same, but if you remember, her son Jake came back from the dead a few years ago, so Liz understands shocking reveals about children, and she could comfort Dante. Plus, he is still grieving Sam's murder at the hands of awful Cyrus, and if you don't remember, it was, I think, 4 years ago, Liz was grieving the murder of her husband, Franco, at the hands of awful Peter August. Plus, I think a lot of people would prefer Dante to stay far away from Lulu, so Elizabeth could be a really interesting alternative. Let me know who you'd like to see her with. Rick, Cody, Isaiah, Jason, Dante, somebody else? Let me know.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.